This episode of Rookie Hunter is brought to you by the Wild Sheep Foundation. Become a member, join the Lesson 1 Club, and attend their annual convention, Sheep Show, Reno, Nevada in 2020. For more information, go to wildsheepfoundation.org. Hey, welcome to episode 107. Sorry we missed you guys last week. You'll find out why in just a minute. We cover some of that. And we get into some hunting topics, some chit chat. So just kind of a freewheel and no real plan for an episode type of episode, but I think you guys will enjoy it anyways. I've mentioned this piece of clothing before, but I'm going to mention it right now because I happen to be wearing it, and it's the Core Silkweight Boxer. Well, it's been well over 32 degrees here in Kelowna. That's Celsius for you guys in the States, which means it's been hot. And you want something down below that's going to keep you comfortable and dry. I don't need to go into more details than that, but something as simple as good underwear can keep your hunt going longer and make life a lot more bearable when you're in the backcountry for multiple days. If you want to check those out and all of our other Sitka gear, head over to our website, which is theRookieHunter.com. You can have a look at what we're wearing, and each image will take you to Sitka's website, and all the other gear we got up there will also take you to other websites, so you can have a look. If you like something, you could do some further reading on it. Again, that's all up there on theRookieHunter.com. Our sheep hunt's not too far away, and if you're interested in sheep hunting, you like sheep, you like taking photos of sheep, whatever you do that has something to do with sheep, well, you should become a member of the Wild Sheep Foundation. You can do so by going to wildsheepfoundation.org. Lots of information up there, including ways to join the Lesson 1 Club. Well, you don't have to be a hunter to find uses for a knife, and you can get knives that are made right here in British Columbia from NorthArmKnives.com. We've been using those knives for, 3 years now. It's been a long time. We love them. There's a whole variety of them, including kitchen knives. You can get custom engravings, anything you want, basically. Head over to NorthArmKnives.com and please support those guys. We love what they do, and they're in BC, so go get them. All right, let's get into this episode. Sit back, relax, crack a nice cold beer because it's a hot day, and enjoy episode 107 with me, Kelly, and Oscar.
Raptors in the finals. Game 1, they won. So they have three wins left, and they could win the NBA championship, which is pretty nuts. Like, Canada only has one team, so the whole country's kind of getting behind them. Like, they were showing scenes in like cities other than Toronto, and they had like 20,000 people out in the streets watching it on the big screen. I don't know. It's just one of those. I find sports is one of the main things that kind of gives you those "where were you when this happened" moments. Like, the Sidney Crosby golden goal at the Olympics, or
I don't watch sports, Kel.
Bautista's home run a couple years ago.
Missed that one too.
BX's goal against the Sharks to get them to the Canucks to the finals.
Missed that one too.
But I don't know. It's just it's one of those things that brings communities together, I think, better than anything else. Music's one of those things, and I think hunting's one of those things. Like, brings people together based on like this common thing. But sports, or Tiger Woods, when he just in the Masters, when his ball stopped on the edge and then it fell in like 3 seconds later. I don't know. I remember exactly where I was at each one of those things, but I'm obviously a sports fan.
Yeah.
So I kind of follow the story, right? It's a drama. It's like a real life drama in motion. Like,
here's my angle on it. I just feel guilty for like sitting there watching someone else be active. I'm like, oh, this is a whole lot of time. How long is a basketball game from start to finish?
I get that. Yeah. It's a couple hours. Well, it's 48 minutes.
Yeah, but if you're watching on It's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah. It's not even that they're active. It's like they're the best. Like they're the pinnacle of that thing, right? So then it makes
Yeah.
you even more guilty. Like, oh, how they must have not watched TV their whole life to get to
Like,
that point.
fuck, I just sat here for 2.5 hours drinking beer and eating shit. I'm going backwards and these guys are going forward.
Yeah.
But no, that's cool, man. I like going and watching. I like from the communal angle, like to go to a hockey game or whatever.
Yeah.
Is fun. I just can't sit and watch
The
I
TV.
get fucking really bored in a hurry.
Yeah.
Just in general, like you know how I am. Fuck, I can't sit still for more than 5 minutes, so it's hard.
The TV, yeah.
But no, it's cool. I think it's good for Canada and that, and
Yeah.
whatever. If people dig it, so be it.
I didn't realize it, but basketball's at like it's a quarter of the viewership of soccer, but it's actually like double the viewership of baseball. So I don't think Canada's ever had focus like this, like at a global level, other
Right.
than the Olympics maybe in
Yeah.
2010. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Anyways, there's a game tonight, so I'll be sitting in front of the TV for a couple hours.
Oh, so you were lying. You're like, oh, we got to record early in the morning because I got to get ready for Detroit. I heard on the radio or whatever that there was a game tonight. I'm like, that fucker, he just wants to watch the game tonight, making me come down here fucking early on a Sunday.
Oh man, I like the coffee podcast once in a while.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Plus, it's already hot out, so got out and went for a hike and shit already,
Nice.
which is good.
I went for one yesterday. Threw the pack on, went kind of up in Myra there.
Yeah.
I like that spot because, I don't know. I mean, you can pick so many different trails. It's like you never go on the same trail, even if you tried.
Yeah,
So I kind of like that part of it.
for sure.
I hung a right, and I'm pretty sure I just doubled the length of the whole thing.
Oh, nice.
But whatever. It's
Yeah.
good for you.
No, part of it, yeah. Well, speaking of hiking, on Monday, out on the daily hike with the dog, and I don't know, it was probably I was on the trail by 7:30 or so, and we're hiking up, and usually Oscar kind of fucks around on the trail for the first little bit. He's sniffing and peeing on stuff, and he'll catch up to me within the first couple minutes or whatever. So I get to a certain point on the trail and I look back and he's nowhere to be seen. And my first thought is always like, oh, he's eating dead animal or whatever. Usually just, if he's not coming when I'm calling him, he's usually up to no good. So I turn around and head back down and he's just like slowly one foot in front of the other. Just looks like totally exhausted. So I'm like, all right, he's not feeling good or something,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. We'll just head back down the trail. We hadn't even made it that far up, but whatever. So get through the rest of the day. He's just kind of chilling out, relaxing in the house. And then I had to come down here around, just before 5 o'clock. And there's pretty steep stairs to get up here. And Oscar's with me, so he's going up the stairs. And same thing, he's kind of just slow and he's behind me, even though I've got him on the leash. And then he starts breathing real heavy, like way too heavy for going up the stairs. He's getting older, but not enough. So whatever, he gets it to the top of the stairs. We're at the door here, and I'm unlocking the door, and all of a sudden I hear a big thump behind me, and Oscar had just fallen over and collapsed. And he was, I don't know, it was weird. Like his back legs, I think, gave out first. I didn't really see it, and then he was trying to fight it, and then he almost kind of flipped backwards onto his back and slammed down pretty hard on the ground. And he just was like flat out. And so I lay down on the ground with him. I knew something was like not right. And we kind of knew that his heart has a bit of a murmur and stuff like that. So it was in the back of our heads that his heart is probably the weakest link within him because he's super healthy otherwise. So while I'm laying there with him, I called the vet, carried him down to the car, took him in there, and got him to the vet. Luckily, they stayed after hours a little bit for me. And they started listening to his heart. And the one vet says to the other one, you should probably have a listen to this. Right away, I'm like, okay, this is not good. They both look concerned. And then he's like, the only way I can explain it, it sounds like shoes in a dryer. His heart is all over the place. His pulse is totally off. They said, we're going to give you some pills to like try and help even things out. But brace yourself. He's probably not going to make it until tomorrow. So I'm like, fuck, that's it. Life's over. All these, just huge bummer. So we get him all these pills and stuff, and we're just like, okay, I guess this is it. Let's hope for the best, and then whatever. So I get him home. Ashley comes home. He's all excited to see her. He's wagging his tail, and like to her, it's like nothing even happened, right? If
Right.
say both of us were away and he had fainted like that, we wouldn't know. We would have just continued on. But anyways, we gave him all these different pills and stuff like that, and he just totally seemed fine. He slept really well. He got up and had his breakfast at the same time. He gets up at 4:30 a.m., which is
Jesus.
brutal. He's always done that. We haven't been able to train that out of him. So we got up and
So
keep an eye on him.
you've been getting up at 4:30 for the last 11 years?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You know what? So our old place, there was a bakery across the street, and every morning they would load up the truck around 4:30, and there was like the hydraulic lift on the back. You'd hear that
Mhm.
thing go bzzz, and then crash down onto the sidewalk.
Mhm.
I think he got into a habit of hearing that thing that would wake him up, and he's like, now that I'm up, I'm going to eat.
Right.
We've never been able to get him off of that schedule, and he's like, he will not leave. He won't just go back to bed. He'll like paw at the wall and like he's super noisy. So you just got to feed him.
Norris will sit like he literally slept till 8 today.
Oh really? Oh, he'll sleep in. He'll go back to bed after he's
okay.
eaten. But
He's just hungry.
yeah, he just wants to eat. Anyway, so we get up. We had another. They said, if he survives, bring him back in the morning, and he survives. So we brought him in, and the vet was listening to his heart. He said, like, I can't even believe it. It sounds like his heart is strong. There's just a slight murmur. He's like, his recovery is ridiculous. Like, did not expect to see this dog here today. So let's just continue with this medication. We'll see in 3 weeks. So it's the contrast of like, fuck, he's dead to he's fine. He's not fine, but so long story short, his heart is on the fritz, I guess. And eventually that's going to be the thing that gives out on him. But they said, just, take it easy, slow his exercise down, but don't stop. Just, he's got to have a quality of life, and so do we. So,
Yeah.
So we kind of just let him chill. I actually had to go to Victoria. So he just sort of took the week off. Yesterday we took him for a flat walk along Mission Creek Park. He loved it. It's nice and cool in there and everything like that. And then today we took him up where I hike every day there. Did a shorter loop trail, but totally fine. So we're just going to continue on, but his hunting career might be over unless we're shooting rabbits.
Depending where we're going.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, they don't call him the silver bullet for nothing.
yeah. So anyways,
He'll keep going.
He's still here for now, and whatever, he could live another year. He might live another day. We don't really know, but
maybe 5.
yeah, you just don't know, man. So got lucky. That was a rough week when you think you're losing your hunting buddy. So
yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
it's worth having them, but it's tough when that kind of stuff happens.
Heartbreaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to come eventually, but you just don't want it to.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah, you guys were at my place one time, and he fell over. Remember, he started shaking and
I
fell over?
totally forgot about that. Yeah.
But we kind of thought maybe he got into something, like he ate something, but I don't think we actually could confirm that. It was just kind of like what made sense.
Yeah, that's funny. Man, I totally forgot about that. That's interesting.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe like what is linked to the heart that maybe could, like maybe the heart's like a secondary, maybe it's like a thyroid thing or like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's interesting though.
It is interesting.
I could see like definitely trying to keep him out of the heat, especially as we go into summer. Like yesterday when I went for that hike at 9:30, I swear it was like 28 degrees already by the time I was like, oh, this is a bad time to go for a hike. But I was there, so I just did it.
Yeah.
I was just trying to find a shady trail.
We were out the door by 7:30 this morning, and just driving up to the trailhead was 20 degrees. Got hot, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he's had a lot of exercise. I would think from like a physical perspective, like his heart's probably healthier than ours, but there's something like maybe genetic or something else.
It's common in these bigger breeds. So
okay.
Yeah, just one of those things. But yeah, the funny thing is, man, the weekend prior, we took him backpacking. We hiked like over 30 kilometers in 2 days.
Yeah.
And he's fine. So yeah, kind of messes with your head a bit because you want to just keep carrying on because he's capable of it to some degree, but at the same time, we might just end up killing him if we go too crazy on it. So,
Yep.
Anyway, he's still here. So,
Yeah. Dobby
wants it. Do you want to read some reviews? We've been getting lots of good ones. I think we're almost at 300, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I got a few good ones. I'm amazed at how many. We're kind of bribing people with these Caribou stickers.
Yeah.
The amount of reviews that have come in are pretty insane.
Yeah.
So just going to touch on a couple here. One of them's from Waday99, who says, great introduction to hunting, especially for a BC resident. Found the podcast when I searched for beginner hunting after signing up for my CORE, which is the education program up here. So perhaps don't change the name. I worked my way from episode 1 to current over a couple of months, narrowly missing out on contributing to episode 100. Highly recommend this approach for education purposes, although be warned, you might find yourself involved in conservation before even firing a shot.
Nice.
You have the old warning. Because there's, we've talked about that, you kind of drop the load on your shoulders and you have to carry that conservation.
Yeah, we got to lighten the load on us and get it on some of these other guys.
Yeah. We've got one from, I think it's an ING95 Jam. These guys have been a great inspiration to myself. After my accident in 2007, I developed health issues and gained some excess weight. Let's just say a lot of weight. But when I finally got back to the ability where I could get into the woods again, I found myself needing some motivation. While listening to material, I happened across these two guys, and from then on, it's been the most amazing tool I use on all my workouts. So it's helped him lose over 150 pounds.
Jesus.
And allowed him to get back into the outdoors and go hunting and fishing. So from beautiful Nova Scotia, I tip my hat to these two and thank them. Keep up the good work.
Right on, man.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, good for you. We have nothing to do with that. That's all you. So I'm glad we could entertain you while you're exercising. But fuck, that's awesome, man. Good for you.
We've got another one here from Lady Lucas. Found these guys when I was just stepping into the world of hunting in beautiful BC. Not sure of how to start. Listening to their earlier days inspired me and kept the flame of the outdoors lit while I stumbled through new territory. These guys are down to earth. I wrote in on a hope and a whim and thought maybe they'd be able to help a rookie lady hunter out. And to my complete delight, they wrote back. Before I knew it, they had set me up with another keen lady hunter who has become a real friend and a role model. They helped bring a dream to a reality, and I can't thank them enough for that. How often do you come across a podcast where the hosts actively care about their listeners and take time to write back and lend a hand? I'm never disappointed with an episode, and it's incredible how much I get to learn from them and their knowledgeable guests. Been tuning in for more than a year now. Cheers to many more. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Good reviews. Appreciate them. We have 200 decals. Well, we sent off a bunch last week too. But we have tons of them. So if you guys want them, just leave us a review or send us an email or whatever, and we'll get them out to you.
Yeah.
If you're in North America. I don't know what the logistics are of sending outside of Canada, the US, but I haven't attempted that yet. So too bad.
Hey, Oscar's doing great because he just ate half my Starbucks sandwich.
We paused for a minute here because they're vacuuming out in the hallway here. And Oscar just helped himself to Kelly's Starbucks breakfast sandwich. So,
which I haven't. That's happened about 3 or 4 times.
He knows you're an easy target.
Remember the sushi?
Yeah, bastard. So yeah, he's doing fine. We got an email, Cal, from Adam.
Adam, from where?
It doesn't say where he's from, actually. I tend to leave out last names because I never know if people want their name mentioned or not, but Adam. And the subject line was sheep hunt packing. Lots of people chiming in on this, which has been good. So first off, he says bullets. You guys were discussing how many bullets to pack. I would suggest 12. Reason being is you are out for a long time in wild country, so there's more to consider than just hopeful sheep harvest. On the jet boat hunt we did, we had a wolf stalk into about 40 yards on us within 500 meters of the boat on the first day. The second day, we had the same wolf sneak into 20 yards of the 4 of us while we were having lunch way up the mountain. -1 bullet here. I was lucky enough to fill my LEH cow tag on day 5 of 12. Through calamity of errors, I finally got her down minus 4 bullets there. While processing the elk, we had a massive black bear come in on us for the kill. No shots were fired, but this was high intensity event, and we were able to hold her back while loading our packs. So you can see how having a few extra bullets around in these wild places is well worth the wait. I was very happy to have a full magazine available for the black bear and the remaining days of our hunt. Not a bad point.
Yeah. It's one of those things where if you're going to pack weight, I don't mind it being in certain departments.
Yeah, I've got that, my dad's old leather bullet pouch, which I just strap onto the hip belt. So
Yeah.
it doesn't really bother me that much.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't really count that as pack weight because it's, I don't know, it is pack weight, but I don't know. Mentally, it just doesn't bother me.
Yeah. I think a dozen seems like a pretty fair number.
Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood, I think is good.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing we've talked about too is you and I both shoot the same caliber, more or less.
Yeah.
But so we could share them if we needed to for some reason, but shooting different grain, but for predators or any issues like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, good point. Cups. He says, I like how you guys are weighing everything right down to your cups. I'm also a fan of the oatmeal in the mornings. I'm sure you're aware, but you can just pour water directly into the oatmeal packages. No cups or mess. As a side note, we brought hemp hearts and seeds to add to our oatmeal to add a bit of protein into them. I just make oatmeal and put it in Ziploc bags, so that's not really an option. There must be bags that you can get for this purpose, though, I would imagine.
I would think so.
I've never
I seem
seen
to remember
them,
looking into this at one point. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you'd want to use like a Ziploc bag, but there
No.
must be something.
Yeah. But just before we started recording, I was showing you these Sea to Summit cook sets and cups and stuff. And you were talking about these a couple episodes back too. They're just the collapsible cups. They're silicone. You can actually heat them up on a burner too, which is kind of cool. I'm not sure if you can do that with the cups, but with this set you can, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's a good option. And I think I might get one of those cups, Cal. I think it's a good idea. Because it's small. That silicone shit is really easy to clean.
Yeah, it's not too heavy.
Yeah, exactly. So
how much does it weigh? Do you know?
I've
think
got
it's
the
only
whole
like-
set here, but it's not much.
It's
Here.
like 50 grams or
Yeah, it doesn't give me the breakdown. I can
Okay.
I can keep looking while we're chatting here. But oh, this is a good point too, and I do carry these in my pack. I don't know if you do. I think you do. He said one thing I found unbelievably useful in terms of emergency gear was zap straps. They weigh absolutely nothing, and there's no shortage of things you can fix in the woods with those.
yeah, I always have a few in my outdoor research organizer.
Yeah.
You don't notice them in there, and if your strap breaks, pack,
Yeah.
belt. I always bring one extra belt buckle,
Right.
which we don't have one with our packs, but I actually have one from my other pack,
Right.
so I think I'm going to bring that.
Yeah, man, if you break you step on your buckle for your hip belt, that's not fun.
No, just weight on the shoulders the whole time.
Oh, that'd be brutal. I'm sure you could MacGyver something, but yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
I don't actually have one, and I always mean to pick one up.
Yeah.
But it's so easy, especially if you're in cold temps. That stuff cracks a lot easier too, right?
Yep.
So yeah, it's a good point. Yep, zap straps are a big part. Kevin actually bought me, like he threw some in my birthday gift, which was kind of nice too.
Nice.
Oh, mosquito net was another thing he gave me, and I think you picked one up too, just to throw
Yep.
over your head.
I just got it actually.
Nice.
I got an outdoor research. It's one of those ones that has the spring kind of halfway.
Yeah.
So you can bend it and
Right.
squeeze it into a little pack.
Nice.
I think it's meant to be worn with, one of those bigger hats,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really care. I'll just throw it on.
Yeah.
Anything's better than dealing with mosquitoes and horseflies and all that.
I could see it getting warm in there. I'm interested to see how hot this is going to be.
Yeah, I know. I'm wondering.
It could
man.
go either way.
Could,
Like,
absolutely. It's looking like we're going to be dealing with a pretty hot summer. So, but you never know.
mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's all Adam had to say. Those are all good, valid points. I
Definitely.
would agree with those. Somebody wrote in about maps, Cal.
Somebody noted the app Fat Map, which is a hiking, biking, skiing type app, and I did download it. And he's right. The image quality is awesome.
Cool.
It's very easy to navigate, and you can flip it into 3D and zoom in and spin it around, and Yeah, it's a really cool app. I haven't gotten into, like, I don't know if there's trails and stuff that you can kind of zoom into, but yeah, I haven't spent a lot of time with it, but it's pretty cool.
Nice.
And it's free.
Right on. Here's a concept I want to run by you, Cal, unless you had something else there.
Nope.
I've been doing a little side project. Just been teasing it. I'm just going to keep teasing it. But one of the, something that was presented to me, I found very interesting and also simple. So when we're dealing with, say, a limited entry draw, you pick a region and you say, let's say we're dealing with elk. And they say, this area can handle a harvest of, say, 50 elk. So we're going to open up a limited entry, but it's not like we get 50 tags. There's more than that because they base it on a success rate. So if there's like, say they say it's like a 65% success rate, they're going to have extra tags to compensate for that difference.
Like 100 tags.
So let's say that. So let's say there's 50 elk that can be removed without causing any harm to the herd, and they give 100 tags. What was presented to me was, well, what if there was just one hunter, one animal? That's it. So 50 elk, 50 hunters. That's it. Rather than two people per one elk or more, whatever the situation is. So it's and his thought was, and I'll play this clip eventually, not today, but was that with all the technology that we have, the road access that we have, the rifles that we have that can shoot incredible distances, the opportunity for success with some species, not all of them, is in our favor. So if a hunter isn't able to make it happen, then that elk continues on to the next season. Guys will still be successful, but it's sort of more like from a fair chase perspective, one hunter, one animal. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so you're saying right now it's based on the success rate and they give more tags.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because then you're essentially making sure that those 50 out get taken out.
Exactly.
Or that the opportunity for those 50 is used fully.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you definitely, so then you'd be flipping it to the other side of the coin where you'd probably only half of those 50 would be taken out, which I guess from a conservation, like animal well, so there's a couple things. One is the opportunity. So you're going to be limiting opportunity, which isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. If taking out 25 is better for wildlife management than taking out 50, I'd be all for it. But if taking out 50 is better for wildlife management than taking out 25, then I'd be all for that.
Yeah. So here's what happened. The fuck. So here's what happened. In this specific scenario, there was half the tags were for resident hunters and half were First Nations. First Nations did the one tag, one hunter. So that was it. The province based it on success rate. They ended up having like a 90% success rate with these elk. So they knocked down more than what was available. Hear what I'm saying? So rather than, knocking down 50, they knocked down fucking 90. These numbers, I'm making up numbers here.
Yeah, because if you have a successful year, you could potentially wipe out way more than you wanted to, right?
And these elk that I'm talking about weren't always there. They were reintroduced and they're doing very well.
Yeah.
But
that's the problem is like it's always a retroactive analysis.
Yeah.
Like you're always looking at harvest data after, which is kind of challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might look at that data and be like, whoa, holy shit, we got to like limit the next year's harvest here because we just put a big dent in it.
So are you better to take the risk of maybe having a few more and then open up a bigger opportunity the next year if guys weren't that successful than taking too many one year and then having to shut down a hunt because people were too successful?
Yeah, I think it's a good thought. I think this ultimately rolls back to the overlying conversation that Jesse was talking about is like, do we have an entity in BC that's kind of like managing this wildlife management perspective, like Idaho State and Game or like, and we've been trying to get hunter funds like into like all our tag dollars back into wildlife, not through some roundabout like general revenue type thing. I think if we could like get all that stuff going to the right direction, and we had a central entity that's all they did,
Yeah.
then I think we could probably address all these things and back it with the right
Yeah,
amount of science too.
So that's kind of the thing I think is the main thing is there's these are all things I've kind of been picking up over the last couple of weeks is guide outfitters and First Nations, you know, let's say it's their territory, you can look at it the same way.
Mm-hmm.
They'll say there's X amount of this species in this area. Province has data that's old and they're relying on that old data and they're still using that for today, but they're saying, no, this population is out of control. We need to do something, or this population is suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a delay with science and probably due to improper funding that it just doesn't really work. Right.
Yeah.
And
the size of the province versus the funding.
It'd be nice if people could say, hey, something is off balance here. We need to do something about it sooner than later, because once it, you know, the studies have caught up to it, sometimes it's too late in that situation.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to find that with grizzly bears here pretty soon that, you know, it's going to cause some problems and it's going to be too hard to catch up to that. And then probably going to have to shoot a whole bunch of grizzly bears and people are going to be pissed off. And it's crazy. Yeah. This province is kind of ridiculous the more I look into this stuff.
Yeah, I agree that science, like that, there's an issue with the retroactiveness of the whole thing. And when we went to, I can't remember his name now, the mule deer professor from Montana.
Yeah, I always forget his name. It might come to me. Keep going.
But they were talking about mule deer management and how they're using satellite imagery and like NASA data and all
real
these
time
different
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So they can actually set what do you call it? Tags and harvest like just for each year as it comes.
Right.
Based on all those factors. But I don't know. I can hear Jesse in the back of my head saying that, you know, tags isn't really the main driver of all this. He said that multiple times too. So
yeah, I just think it's an interesting concept, man.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree that like it'd be cool if we could get to a point where we were almost like Idaho or Montana or wherever, where they're setting those limits real time almost.
Yeah.
And like based on such good data, right?
Yeah.
Our province is so huge and so remote in some cases that we're definitely going to need some good funding to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I think. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm generally, if you could show me that it's better for wildlife and ultimately long-term opportunity, I'd be more willing to, you know, do the 1-to-1 animal to hunter type LH as opposed to just throwing out like, oh, we know half you guys aren't going to get one, so here's an extra 50 tags.
Yeah, exactly.
I think part of that too is like egging people on to buy the tags so that it brings more money in.
That's the other side of it too. Yeah. Which I'm okay with. Yeah. So yeah.
You just hate to have an off year where everyone's successful.
Yeah, I know. And like I said, it happened in that specific scenario. So
yeah,
I'll dig up the actual numbers at some point, but just found it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool topic for sure.
We'll talk more about that one.
Sweet.
Wait, well, yeah, I'm curious if you guys have any thoughts on that one. Let us know what you think, if something like that would work. If it, you know, science does have to come into the equation. That's the tricky thing. And that's what makes it hard, is because it's just that delay there. Right. And, but yeah, let us know what you guys think. I didn't have much more to chat about other than that.
Yeah, no, it's a nice day out there. It's Sunday early, so we could, I don't know, there's lots to do today too. So
there is.
Go enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah, absolutely.
You went for a hike already, but I'll probably go for one.
Yeah, I'm glad I went because I can feel it heating up out there already.
Actually, I brought Norris to the lake yesterday too. He's doing pretty good with his leg. I thought he was going to be limping like crazy. For those that are just joining us, he kind of like launched himself off a cliff and busted up his carpal joint, and he's all fused, and you know, he's got a straight arm now. But yeah, it's been a long road. It's been like 7 or 8 months now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But they said 6 to 9 months is the recovery. And yeah, he's doing his figure 8 loops around the backyard trees now, like just sprinting like a cheetah.
That's good.
And he's not limping too bad afterwards. Sometimes he gets a little sore, but
right.
Yeah, it's going good.
Dogs,
on
man.
that front.
Yeah.
But yeah, dogs, Jesus. It's like 50% awesome, and the other 50% is just, it's worse than having a kid in some cases.
Yeah. Worth it.
Yeah, definitely worth it.
Well, should we get out of here?
Sounds good.
All right. Cheers. This episode of Rookie Hunter was brought to you by the Wild Sheep Foundation, Sitka Gear, and North Arm Knives. As always, it is hosted by Kelly Mullner and myself, Mike Peterson. It is recorded, edited, and produced at Mountain Stream Audio Productions in beautiful Kelowna, British Columbia. Original music written by the one and only Kelly Mullner with help from Graham Ord, Darcy Booth, and Chip Sleedermean. If you want to help us out, there's one thing you can do. You can go to iTunes or wherever you get your podcast from and leave us a 5-star rating and a review. And don't forget to subscribe. For more on the show, head over to our website, therookiehunter.com.